Hey guys, it's Ears of Steel. We're just gonna do some caving today, actually, because I've got a story that I wanted to tell you guys for a while, and it is the best story of my life. I've got some pretty good stories, but this is easily my favorite of the ones that I know. Plus, I was running short on resources. So, all started. Let's see, what else can I talk about this? Because I need to kind of drag this on a bit. It is currently, okay, just checking the time so I know about how long to make this. It'll probably be about 20-minute episode, I think. That's what I would, well, that was dumb. Uh, Fortunately I've got diamond on. Um, yeah, I'll probably try to make it about 20 minutes and then I'll come back to show you the, everything that I got out of this run. Let's see. Right. What was I talking about? I should have had more, like, plan than just a story, because don't think I'll take quite the whole time telling the story. Okay, I'm trying out a new arrangement with my keys. Like the way that I've got it mapped out, I use 1, 2, 3, and 4 as my hotkeys, and then R, F, C, Z, and Q are everything that I need. So I'm trying out like I keep trying new arrangements with my things, like where I'm most likely to place them, I guess. So I think R is where I'm going to keep my work pick. 4 is probably like a special tool that I don't really use too much. Uh, and then F is for blocks. Nice. Okay, so I think I can tell the story. I've kind of rambled enough that it should take enough time. So this all started back in my senior year of high school, about 5 years ago, I guess. At the time, I was a competitive swimmer. And mornings, every morning we would have to get up or not every morning, sorry, just 3 times a week, twice a week during the weekday, and then Saturday mornings as well, were early morning practices. Uh, so early morning meant on deck at 6, and then swim for an hour and a half, get in 3, 4K, whatever, something like that. Damn. And then go to school. Like good little students. It was, you know what, I was, it was funny, I stopped swimming what year did I stop swimming? The year that I moved away for university. So that was like, because I did 1 year at college first, and then I moved away for university. It's the year that oh, look at this guy. The whatchamacallit? I know I'm being such a insightful storyteller right here. I swear I'm better than this when I'm not doing something else. I'm actually like, I've had a, I've had a lot of crazy experiences in my life, and I've got a really solid handful of stories. But right now I'm kind of like trying to multitask, and that makes it about 1,000 times harder. This is my strip mine, by the way. If anybody didn't know where we were, so I've gathered a lot of my resources. So yeah, this all started one Tuesday morning. I was I woke up late. Okay, so and this is like that's a big deal. You don't like just I hate being late for workouts. I'm not super punctual. Like I'd say I'm moderately punctual, but not super punctual to just about anything else. But like workout, man, you cannot be late for workout. That's just unexcusable, inexcusable. Uh, so I'm late. I probably woke up. I had to be there for 7, and I walked to the pool. I think I got up at like 6:50 or something like that. So I'm like rushing. I'm rushing to get to practice, and it's just like so much panic as I'm going. Uh, like obviously I'm pissed too. I'm in a bad mood just because I'm gonna be late for practice, and I hate that. Uh, so I scarfed down a banana. Made the mistake of eating my banana before. Fuck off. Before putting in my contacts, so I've got like banana gunk on my fingers, and I started smearing that into my eyes, and it hurts, and oh, it was a bad day. So I'm like, okay, just EarsOfSteel, just calm down, get to the pool. It's not a big deal. You'll just make it in time. Just walk fast right now. So I throw in my iPod, uh, throw in my iPod, just listen to some music. I'm power walking. I'm power walking across this big open field. To give you an idea of what this field looks like where we're walking right now. My house is like in a little suburb, and then there's a oh god damn it. And then there's like a big open a big open field. Probably like 2-3 kilometers across, I would guess. Uh, and that's what I'm walking across when I hear like a cawing, like a crow cawing, but like whatever, it's a bird, no big deal. Uh, so I'm just power walking with my headphones in, and all of a sudden, this crow who I heard cawing just previously swoops down on me and like hits me in the face. It starts like slapping its wings into my face. So my only reaction, I just turned around and swore at it and put my hands up, and like the bird doesn't know. It doesn't know what's going on that I'm swearing at. Like it only understands, well, it doesn't obviously understand that I'm way bigger than it because it attacked me, cocky little bastard. And so I'm freaking out. So now I'm already in a bad mood, and all of a sudden the bird starts attacking me. So now I'm right livid. I'm not a happy camper. And it followed me. This bird followed me across the entire field. It chased me the whole way. This is like 3 kilometers of field, and it chased me the whole way. And I had to keep an eye on it, keep turning back, seeing like where's this bird at, where's this crow, because it would swoop down on me otherwise and like just start attacking me. And for 3 kilometers, it followed me doing this. Like, man, so I get to the pool, and I'm frazzled. I couldn't, like, it just didn't, it blew my mind that there would be a bird that would attack me like that. Like, it just didn't make sense with my understanding of the world. Uh, so this was Tuesday morning. Thursday morning rolls around, and I think to myself, like, so early morning practices were Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Saturday was a little bit later because, Saturday, all us 14-year-olds would go out and just get hammered the night before. I was 18 at the time, so I could have, but I didn't because I was a good boy growing up. Is that all from this direction? I'm not sure. I use the Estonian method of caving, where torches on the right mean I'm going in that direction, and torches on the ground are just for navigational purposes, or are not for navigational purposes, they're for lighting purposes. Yeah, okay, so everything's good this way. So yeah, Thursday rolls around. I'm up again. This time I was on time getting up, And I think to myself, man, I really hope this crow doesn't get me again. Doesn't come for me again or whatever. Well, sure enough, this bird is coming at me again, and it chased me the whole way again. I like, I've never been more scared in my life. Well, have I? Probably the time I almost crashed my car on the, yeah, that was probably bad. I was going about 80, and oh man, wound up pulling like a Fast and the Furious maneuver through this car. It was something else. Uh, that's a story for a different time. Yeah. So this bird at one point, okay, yeah, this really freaked me out. At one point, this bird was like directly overhead, coming straight down. What do you do there? There is absolutely nothing that you can do to fight that. Like, humans do not go straight up. That is not our preferred method of travel. We just don't do it. Man, there's a lot of stuff in here. So yeah, I'm bent over backwards, just screaming profanities at this bird. There's nothing that I can do because as it's coming straight down on me, and it chased me the whole way again. Man, I get to the pool and I'm frazzled. I just couldn't function, and I look at my buddy who's yeah, he's an Olympian. If I'm gonna brag about brag about people I'm associated with, not my own achievements. So I look at him and I'm like, man, you know what? I'm gonna if this bird comes after me again, I'm gonna kill it. There's just no avoiding this. This bird is a menace to society, and he looks at me dead in the eye. And he's like, "You'd be doing a good deed, Ears of Steel. You'd be doing a good thing." And I'm like, "Oh, I thank you, good friend of mine. I appreciate your vote of confidence." So I'm not like a big hick or anything, but I'm just not. I don't really shoot. But I did play a lot of paintball at this time, and I had a paintball pistol. So, just like a little 8 or 10 shot magazine clip, whatever you want to call it. So I tucked that in the waist of my pants and decided to walk. This is Saturday morning now. Oh, excuse me. I start walking, and this bird. Okay, I'm like, man. As soon as this bird comes, I'm gonna shoot it. Walk one step out of my house. I've still got my foot on the front porch, and this bird is like, I hear cawing, and I turn and try to face it. And where's this bird? And it's flying at me out of the sun. Like, if you know anything about World War II and kamikaze fighters, they would. That's what they would do. They would do this, where they would fly out of the sun at the warship, so you couldn't see them until it was too late. And that's what this bird was doing. It knew. This bird was smart, and it knew that I'd be blinded by the sun, so it attacked me out of the sun. Okay, this thing had a mind of its own. It was very smart. It was a good enemy. So I'm like, man, I don't want to kill this animal. This is not something that I want to do. So I walk just to the end of my court. It's maybe, I don't know, 500 meters or so. No, not 500 meters, more like 100. And this bird just chases me the whole way down this court, and I'm stuck just like screaming profanities at it. And finally, I get there, and I'm just like, okay. I get to the end of the court, and it lands on a light pole and just cocks its head and looks at me with its beady little crow eyes. I'm like, okay, you know what? This ends now. And I pull out my paintball gun and line up the scopes and take one shot, and it was gorgeous, guys. You don't even know. Just the perfect arc on it. The crow jumped a little bit at the sound of the CO2, and it flew up, and I shot it in the goddamn head. Shot it straight in the fucking teeth. Well, I shouldn't have said that. But yeah, so shoot this thing right in the head. I'm like pumped, just instant elation. I am so excited that that I just murdered this bird. Uh, well, uh, I shouldn't say that I just murdered this bird because I was like so excited, like I said, and then I really don't know what I was thinking when I decided I was gonna shoot it with a paintball gun, because I was like, my thought process was, man, I can take a paintball round and be fine. I'm sure a bird can too. Like, what? How stupid is that? Because they're all just skin and bone. There's nothing to a bird. They weigh like 2 ounces, or like they weigh nothing. They weigh nothing at all. So there's no way that a bird can like survive a paintball round. I'm like, looking back on it now, very stupid. But at the time, I was scared. This was like this was The Birds by Alfred Hitchcock. This is what was going on. Uh, so, uh, one shot hit the bird. I'm pumped because it was such a good shot. And then it just dropped. It just dropped to the pavement below, and there was this just disgusting like thud. Its guts went everywhere. It's like, oh. And I just went from the highest high for making this great shot to just being sick to my stomach, and like, I'm sorry. I am so sorry. And like, as I'm still kind of like in the middle of trying to comprehend what just happened here. This is 3 witches. There are 3 witches right here. And as I'm like, crap. As I'm like trying to comprehend this, like trying to just like come to terms with it. I'm still reeling from killing this animal. I had never killed an animal before at this point. Like, not even hit one in my car or anything. And I always went like pretend gopher hunting because I'm like kind of a prairie kid, but never actually shot anything. So as I'm trying to come to terms with killing my first animal, this other crow swoops down and like it lands on the same light pole. Where am I? Lands on the same light pole that I just shot this bird off of, and I swear to God, it looked me in the eye, and then it looked at the lifeless corpse of this other crow, and it knew that I had murdered it, and it just cawed like it was the saddest cawing that I've ever heard in my life. Like, I felt sorrow coming out of this bird's voice. And like I was like, oh my God, I don't even know what you can compare that to other than maybe like I was gonna say maybe like being in Afghanistan and shooting somebody and then having their kid like run out and go, Dad, you shot my dad, and like, but that's not quite the same thing, and I don't want to cheapen the service of people who actually have to go through with that, but that's what I felt like. Like, I had just murdered the spouse of some poor, unfortunate, like, thing. So I get to the pool deck, and I'm telling everybody about this story, and I'm like, I'm still pretty choked up about it. I was like, I kept thinking about this poor bird that I just murdered for the entire set, and it was hard. Like, it was a difficult set. So, and all my teammates gave me heck too, like, EarsOfSteel, you don't even know. You just killed a poor, defenseless animal. And now it was probably just defending its babies, and now its babies are going to starve to death. All because of you. I'm like, don't, no, I feel bad already. You're just trying to make me feel more bad. It was self-defense, I swear. Yeah, so I like, before this happened, I had like a pretty decent idea of where its nest was. So after the set, I got home. I was still trying to delude myself, like still trying to say, no, it's okay. It'll be alive. It was just stunned. Like, its guts were outside of its body. There was no way this bird was anything other than dead. And I was just trying to trick myself into thinking like, nope, it's fine. Oh, there goes my phone. So I get back. I'm walking back to my house, and the bird's obviously still dead in the middle of the road. Uh, so I like went into the garage. I had it. Did I already say I had a pretty good idea where its nest was? Because I had a pretty good idea where its nest was. So I like scooped it up in like some, I think it was a newspaper, and decided I was gonna go bury it under the tree where its nest was. So I did that. I dug a good hole for it. That wasn't. It was a terrible hole. It was the ground. The ground was all rooty and everything, and I couldn't dig a good enough hole. So I like dug this little half flap out of it, out of the ground, and just like it wasn't even like a real hole. And just lifted it up and just kind of squished the body into it. Like its wings were still sticking out of this hole, and it was, so it was just like picture like the worst cartoony grave with like a lazy grave digger who's just trying to do the right thing. And I looked at it and I told myself, no, it's all right. It's the thought that counts. Such a bad job. Yeah. So then so this was the nest where the bird was, where the babies were. It was like in a tree, and I told myself, okay, you aren't gonna be the crow murderer today. You are gonna go save those babies. And I kind of like now I've got this fear of crows, right? Panic every time there's like a this is a life altering event, by the way. Like I freak out every time that I hear a crow anywhere. So, but I've still got in the back of my mind, like, hey, crows are like they're smart, obviously. Like, let's, which this animal just proved to me. Let's take this and I wanted to domesticate a crow at this point and raise it as my own and train it to be an attack crow and have like a horde of attack crows. That's what I really wanted. So I'm climbing the nest. I'm climbing the tree, and it's a pretty good tree. Like, it's still right by my house. It's still there, so I can look back on it now without like having the memories go. And it was a good tree, and I was pretty high up there. I was like a solid like probably 10 meters in the air. And then I hear and I'm like, I see the nest. I see the nest, and I had heard the babies cawing, so I knew they were in there. And like when I got closer, they kind of stopped. So they were like trying to hide from a predator and everything. So I knew like I was on the right track for rescuing these baby crows. And reaching up to grab the nest, and I hear grrr, and I turn around, and like not even a hand away is the other crow. The other crow who had like stopped and mourned the child, or the fallen spouse that I brutally murdered. And this thing is like looking me in the eyes, and I'm like, okay, dude, sorry, we'll go our own ways now. It's fine. We don't need to worry about this. It's all cool. And he, like, man, this crow was cool. The crow, like, he knew it was up. He knew I was just trying to be a good fella. Yeah, he was chill. I like that guy. So he and I were good. I climbed down the tree. Left the nest alone and everything. And then I thought that was going to be the end of it, right? Like, no, don't have to worry about this anymore. The crow who was attacking me so viciously dead, nothing more to it. I think this cave is pretty much cleared out. Nothing more to it. The next summer, so I went away for a year after this happened. And then the next summer, when I got back home, where am I? Okay, yeah, that's the right direction. The next summer, I get home, and I swear to God, there were 3 baby crows, and there were 3 crows who followed me everywhere that I went in the entire city. Oh man, I got like a whole set out of this. 3 crows who followed me everywhere that I went. And people like my friends didn't believe me. Nobody believed me that this was actually happening. I'm like, guys, this is a real thing. These crows have it out for me. They are trying to they're trying to get me. This is their modus operandi. They are trying to get me. This is a decent haul. And nobody they just laughed it off, right? But they followed me, so I was like, get in my car. We're going for a drive, and or no, you follow in behind this car, and I will go a different direction and just watch the car. And they I proved it to my friends that these birds followed me and harassed me. They remembered me, they knew who I was, and they were following me everywhere. So yeah, that's and I don't they must have grown out of it or something, because now they don't get attacked by birds anymore. I know it got pretty bad at one point. I got a BB gun and I was trying to chase them off, and one thing led to another, and I wound up in this swirling vortex of crows. There was probably just a decent ballpark estimate, 40 crows circling over my head, and I'm just madly firing into the air get away from me, get away from me. Yeah, so that was something else. Fun experience. Anyways, that's about the whole story. I don't know. There's not really an ending to that, other than the fact that I shot and killed the one who actually swooped down and hit me in the face. That sea cow is still there. He's been there for days. Yeah. Anyways, thanks for listening to me ramble, tell my favorite story. I love telling that story to people, and they always I've only had one person straight up say, "No, you're lying." I'm not lying. This honestly happened. This is a real thing. I was attacked by crows, or a crow. Now I guess crows, but I was kind of asking for it. They started the war. I just ended it for one of them. I think they won the ultimate war though, because I'm scarred. I can't be around crows. Yeah. Anyways, yeah. So thanks for listening to me tell that story. I really love telling it. Leave feedback if you want to hear more of my crazy adventures. Let me know. Thanks for tuning in, guys. This is Ears of Steel, and that was episode 8. I don't even know if I said if it was episode 8, but that was episode 8.